Good evening, guys. Welcome to round number 3 of season 2 in the Rookie Racing Championship Division 1. After a few technical issues to start off the session with Justin doing Justin things and not putting the qualifying on, as you may have seen on the stream. But we've got the qualifying set now. I'm not sure quite what happened there, whether it was a lobby error or it just wasn't put on for whatever reason. 18-minute quali to start this evening. Have a look at Cohen, first one out the pit lane in the Alfa Romeo. Almost a full grid tonight, 19 drivers, so not a bad turnout. Couple of familiar faces back tonight, which is good to see. Obviously a few of them couldn't attend last week due to with it being Easter Saturday mainly, which didn't really help anything, so nice to see a few of the guys back tonight. Hopefully you can hear me nice and clear, guys. I think it is okay. I need to actually check it on the YouTube and get the chat up, so hopefully you can hear me nice and clearly. Just let me know in chat, guys, if you can. I think it's all okay, but you never know. It seems alright on my end, so I think we'll be okay with it. A lot of guys out on their out laps, so we're going to stick with Cohen now, who's going on to his first flyer. And he'll be the one to open up the timing sheet, so interesting to see. I raced in the Division 2 race last night round here, and eventually crashed out of it quite spectacularly. It's not an easy circuit, is this, Singapore. Tight street circuit. One little mistake and you are in the barrier, and based on last night, with it being quite a hot track temperature, the one stop I think is going to be out of the window. Well, let's just put it this way, I tried that last night and it failed very miserably, to say the least. There was just no grip in the tyres, hence why I ended up miraculously crashing out. There's already bits of debris all over the racetrack. I think someone's had an error going under the grandstand there. Going out of the final corner, 35.7 to open the timing sheet. Justin coming up behind him with 36.8. 1P splits the two of them, we have 36.8. It's a little bit quicker, should I say. And Galactic, who's had a decent couple of races so far. 37.3 to open the timing sheet. Freestyles goes P3 with 36.6. Ramatic just behind him, 35.7. Literally basically a thousandth of a second separating him and Cohen. Fabio just slots in P6 with a 37.2. Next across the line will be Whelan in the McLaren. And last turn he comes, we'll see what this is going to be. It's a 1 minute 40, it is well off the pace so far. A shame. And Lewis Oliver in the other Red Bull is just on a 35.8, so good luck from him. Excuse me. Ben Ratcliffe in the other Alpha. Last corner. Didn't even set a time on that lap, so maybe some issues for Ben so far. Soon find out. Give your lap data up. Cohen's into the pits. George is on an outlap. There's quite a few people on an outlap actually. I think Ben's on a flyer though, so we'll stick with him for now. In the other Alpha, see if he can get up to pace with his teammate Cohen. Down the back straight. He's into the corner nice and tightly. Gets it turned in pretty good. Interesting to see what the sector split will be on this. He's just going to come up to the second sector now. 106 through the second sector. I think he may need to speed up a little bit here, Ben Ratcliffe. He's only got about 15 seconds or so to get across the line. Could be a slow one. I think he'll beat Whelan's 39.5 that he's set, but he might not actually, because he's 35 seconds to now. I don't think he is going to be. I think it's going to be a 1 minute 40. It is a 1 minute. Oh, 1 minute 39 actually. 0.8. It did flick to 1 minute 40, but it's a bit of a delayed thing. Storm in the racing points. Onto his first flyer. I think that's Cecil just up the road there as well. He just flashed in your picture there in the Ferrari. Sully, should I say? I keep on getting that wrong. I apologise. It just looks like, it just reminds me of Cecil. I don't know why. Meanwhile, in the meantime, Wesley in the Renault has just done a 37.8, slotting him up into the top 10. George is on a flyer. Storm's on a slow one. Sully is the furthest up the road so far. Comes through the chicane, nice and tight, very tidy. It doesn't seem like a quick lap, does this? 1 minute 30 to now, so it's not a quick lap at all from Sully, unless he's backed out of it. I'm not sure. Doesn't look like he's backed out of it. He's still going. It's going to be a slow one though, across the line. It wasn't 44, but it must have been invalidated because it hasn't even flicked up on the timing sheets as that. And Storm just skips the chicane. Looks like he's had a moment actually, because he's missing half a front wing there, so I'm struggling to get into pit lane by the looks of things, so a bit of issues there. George around the final corner and goes fastest to 35.2. That's a 5/10 improvement on Cohen so far. Good opening lap from him. Mr. Consistency George putting in the fast laps as usual. We'll go and have a look at Freestyles, who is a relatively new driver tonight. First race in RRC. Racing for the McLaren team tonight. On to his second flyer. And his attempt down on his previous time in the first sector, so whether this is going to be quick or not, I'm not sure. He's going to get some room. Storm in the racing point there just politely moves out the way, and that might be an invalidated lap. I think it looked like he just cut the corner there slightly. Yeah, well over the white line. Just seeing the replay, he skips the chicane there. Yep, that's a backed out lap. Meanwhile, Justin in the other Williams, going to get on pace with his teammate George. He's showing some strong paces, Justin, over the last couple of weeks. And this looks a very tidy lap so far. It looks quick for around the streets of Singapore as well. DRS Open, and it's actually 8 tenths quicker than his previous time, so this could potentially get him into the 35s if he can find a little bit more time. We'll certainly, hopefully, have him in the top 5 at the end of this lap if he keeps it tidy. Around he comes. Into the final corner. That might be an invalidated lap, and it was. It was a 1 second improvement, but it was invalidated for that last corner infringement. You saw him go massively over the track limits. Bossy, meanwhile, just behind him with a 37.0, jumping him up a couple of places. And SDQ, his teammate, is still to set a lap yet. And he's actually gone out on a set of medium tyres as a SDQ. If you can qualify on mediums round here, it can put you in good stead, because it means you don't have to make an extra pit stop over the field. So, and with the tyre wear being as high as it has been, it might not be a bad strategy. However, it looks like this is a lap he has backed out of. We'll go and have a look at Fabio. He's coming through the first sector now. What's he going to be? This is 2 tenths improvement so far, so consistent first sector. Looks like he's just about keeping that car under control, nice and smooth. Through the chicane. Again, looks a very tidy lap, does this, so far. Feel like I'm going to give the commentator's curse to everybody, but it doesn't seem like that's happened so far. 3 tenths up in the second sector for Fabio, so this is looking pretty decent so far. Keep it together, it'll jump him up a few places. I'm sure he's got plenty more time in that Ferrari to find. Meanwhile, Doek has just jumped up to P4 in the racing point. Just seen. Meanwhile, Fabio at the last corner and jumps into P8, 36.6. So a 5 tenth improvement on his previous lap. As we'll have a look at Wesley in the Renault, again another newish driver to the league. Through that last sector, he's done a 37.8 so far. He doesn't know, he's past 37 now, so must have had an incident somewhere on that lap, because he's 3 seconds slower than that lap. Doek, who's currently P4, is pitting after doing his 35.7. Fabio's completed his lap. There's not really many people to look at the minute. Storm is exiting the pit lane, and Sutil is on a lap, just coming through the second sector. And this is looking pretty quick so far. We've got a yellow in sector 2 actually, I'm not sure who that's for. In the second sector, and we've seen 106s and 107s, so this is looking okay so far for Sully. It's a 1:38.2, so it gets him on the timing sheet for Sully, but I think he's probably got a bit more pace out of that. He can try to get out of that car. And believe it or not, our reigning world champion Felix in the AlphaTauri, obviously making that big switch from the Alfa Romeo to the AlphaTauri. He hasn't even set a lap yet, so, and there's just over 2 minutes to go before the end of this qualifying session. It looks like he's trying to qualify on a set of mediums, which, like I said, is probably not a bad idea, considering these boys would have watched the Division 2 guys last night and knew how bad the tyre wear was. So it'll be interesting to see if Felix can do anything. I think if he keeps it nice and tidy, he would be in the top 10 here, given his pace. And it's looking tidy this lap, and it's looking quick as well. The last corner he comes, barely even lifts, and that sends him to the top of the timing sheets with a 34.7. Fantastic lap from Felix. I think we all saw that one coming. It looks like he's going to be going for a back-to-back flyer here with just under a minute to go before the checkered flag comes out. So he'll do one more flyer. Now is SDQ going to get round to set a lap here? He is. He's on a lap now. So again, another guy trying to qualify on mediums. Storm is going to have to be quick to try and get round. You need to be quicker than that to try and get a lap in. I think he's going to get across the line now. So he's onto his lap. He's right on board with SDQ coming through the middle sector. He's looking quite tidy so far. Kissing the apex everywhere. Absolutely lovely. Middle sector is quite good actually. This is looking a very fast lap from SDQ here. Comes out, this could be a very, very quick time when he crosses the line. I think that counts as a little bit dodgy. Oh, he spins it! Coming across the line. SDQ loops it round. And his lap was invalidated anyway because it hasn't counted, but well, I think that's his qualifying session over, unfortunately. But meanwhile, Storm's on another outlap. It says it is. I don't believe that entirely, to be honest. He did just set off on a lap. We've had somebody. Apologies about that, guys. Just have to send Bossy a quick invite. I think he's failed to get out of the lobby. So, there's your grid, Galactic Nerds. So it's a 1-2 for AlphaTauri. We've completely missed that because I have to invite someone. Well, 1-2 for AlphaTauri, but there is a considerable gap between first and second place. Felix is on pole from Galactic, from Cohen, from Ramatic, from George. From Doek, from Justin, from Storm, from Justin, sorry, from Wongpete, from Doek, from Lewis, from Ruff, from Ben, from Freestyle, and then Fabio, and Bossy Gaming rounds out the top 15 drivers on the grid. So stay tuned, guys, we'll be back shortly, ready for the race. Welcome back, guys, to the Rookie Racing Championship. The cars head up on their formation lap for the Division 1 race. Should be a good one, this. I mean, let's just hope this man here, Felix, does not run away with the front like he usually does. To be fair, I've got a mirror of Galactic, Cohen, Ramatic, George, Storm, Justin. We're all very quick drivers. So it should be a good one. It'll be interesting to say the least. There's been a street circuit, the chances of there being an incident on the first lap are quite high. Well, let's hope we don't get anything, but I mean the chances of a safety car coming out at the end of this lap are very likely, shall we say. On recent events, as Felix actually crashes on the formation lap into the wall, I think he's okay. May have picked up a little bit of damage from that. Why, he just put the throttle down and the car just stepped out on him. Never seen that on the formation lap before. I mean, we saw it with I'm trying to remember who it was now in the Racing Point car. I mean, last season in Mexico on a safety car restart we had that. So it'd be interesting to see what happens as they come round to line up. Lining up on the grid, Felix after his little bit of an incident on the formation lap. Gets himself to the grid. They all begin to line up. Waiting for the grid to reset. Now it does reset. We go to 5 red lights. The Singapore Grand Prix, lights out and away we go. A lot of wheel spin actually from everybody on the grid. I think everyone gets away well. Is there some contact? I think there's a bit of contact. There is contact. I think it's 1P that gets turned around. One of the McLarens is on its side. I think that's Freestyles involved in that one as well. But Lewis Oliver, Fabio are all involved. 1P sort of gets away with it, but drops down to P7. And that's a Haas in the wall as well of rough. That could be a safety car for that. There was a lot of contact on the first lap as they head down towards turn 4. About keeping it clean. Wheeling, then it's almost a car park. And that's who's that? I think that's Justin. Justin gets knocked out and a virtual safety car is being called out. I'm not surprised with the amount of damage on that lap. SDQ whacked himself into the wall. I think he's got front wing damage. The VSC's deployed, which is understandable. I think that was Sully just overtaking Whelan under a virtual safety car there, which you're not supposed to do. Stewards might look at that one later. And meanwhile, at the front, while all the carnage has been unfolding behind them, the two Alpha Tauris have swapped positions. Galactic has taken the race lead just before the virtual safety car. So Galactic leads the way from Felix now. So Felix has got his work cut out with his teammate here. I wonder if there's going to be any team orders here, because AlphaTauri pit wall will not want two cars crashing out of this Grand Prix. That'll be an absolute disaster. Come through turn 3, sorry. Back straight. Felix is all over the back of Galactic now. As Whelan, Ben, Justin and Fabio are all in the pit lane, and Ruff now as well, so they all M5 have clearly got damage from them incidents on the first lap. Whether anyone else is going to try and ride it out, we'll wait. Any damage, we'll wait and see. It doesn't look like though, it looked like it was just M5 involved. This is a great battle for the race lead right now between the two teammates. Justin, you can just see Justin thought about sending it there, but thought better of it. It's almost impossible to overtake round here. We've got a yellow in the middle sector, which is where these boys are just exiting, so I'm not sure what's happened there, unless there's a bit of debris on the racetrack. For some reason it says Ruff is in the race lead, but he's actually all the way down. It's reset now. So there's a little bit of glitch with the Formula 1 replay thing is that. As Ramatic has DNF. I think he's crashed coming out last corner. Yes, he is there. He is in the wall. The tyre has popped off his car. Trying to stay with a view to get a decent look at him, but the virtual safety car is out for a second time. He's still in the wall there. His big impact is that. And whether he's got it wrong coming out, I'm not sure. So Galactic leads the way on the virtual safety car. Wesley's in the pits. I think he got damaged. Whether he was involved, I don't think he was involved in that incident. I think Ramatic just was involved by himself or with maybe Freestyles or Sully. They were the two guys that were around him. I'm surprised at the car there, that hasn't brought out a full course safety car, but anyway, a couple of guys making advantage of it anyway. As we go green once again, Wesley's actually got a penalty for speeding under VSC on the restart, so clearly breaking the delta as we go green again. Galactic, you would think at this point, is feeling quite confident. He's got past Felix on, well, what is a very harsh track on the tyres, a very tight track. You would think these two boys are both on optimum strategy with starting on the medium tyre. It'll be interesting to see, but we'll wait and see what happens. Galactic crosses the line. Actually, Felix has actually dived for the pit lane, so I'm wondering if Felix has damage there or going on to a different strategy. That's going to mean Felix is going to need to do at least a minimum of a two-stop race now, so if he's pitted that early, 1P's in the pits, and also Sully's in the pits as well, so could be playing into Galactic Nerd's hands here, but meanwhile, just behind, Cohen is going to have a look at the move on Storm, has to get out of it. Storm cuts in round the outside, and another virtual safety car is out. I'm not sure what that's for. Can't see anybody out of the Grand Prix unless, again, more debris on track. It's been a very stop-start race so far, 4 laps in. I don't think we've had a full racing lap yet. There's been 3 virtual safety cars in the space of 4 laps, so we've had a proper full racing lap yet. We're about to go forward, we're going to go green. Everyone was accelerating. We are green now. 1P's got a drive-through penalty, speeding under VSC. Wesley's still got a serve one. That's two guys are speeding under VSC. He's being caught out by the Delta. Very easy to do, to be fair. As Cohen's now entering the pit lane. He's on a set of softs though, and them set of softs do not last very long round here, so understandable why he's boxed. So he's going on to a set of mediums, which means he will be trying to do a two-stop race from here. And the medium tyre goes on, and he gets dispatched. Pretty quick pit stop that, actually. Good effort from the Alfa Romeo boys. Meanwhile, George is crawling in Galactic. Crawling in. The gap was 2.5 seconds about a lap or so ago. George has got it down to under a second now. And if he keeps it under a second, he's going to have DRS down this back straight. I don't think he's just quite in DRS range. I think he was just outside of it. Flap didn't open. Seems like George has got some good pace tonight. Storm not far behind these boys either, so if these guys start battling, Storm is going to be able to crawl his way into this little battle for the lead. For some reason we're not getting the split times at the minute, so that's why. I think that's another glitch. There were some issues in the servers earlier. I'm getting the split times now when they come across the line. Lewis Oliver just goes to a 140.5 and says he's leading the Grand Prix by doing that, but he isn't. Now it's reset properly, and George has got DRS galore over Galactic. This is going to get interesting, and you can see Storm is crawling his way into this battle while these boys are trying to trip over each other a bit. This is the great thing about street circuit racing. So close, so tightly nicked. And George will get DRS here, and Storm might even get DRS off George if he's close enough. I don't think he is. Oh no, he is. Wing pops open. George closes even closer to the back of Galactic. It's turning into a really nice battle, this. But it's almost so tight around Singapore, almost impossible to pass around here. Ben Ratcliffe has just received 3-second penalty for track limits. Pushing a bit too hard maybe, Ben. In P10 at the minute. He's got a very spotty gaming behind him, very close to say the least. Doric's just done the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 39.3. Now you would think George is going to be close enough here. He's got a long DRS straight to play with. He's going to have a go here, you'd think, on Galactic for the race lead. And he's not close enough again. This is what I was saying, it's almost impossible to pass around this place. Now got a nice little free car train, or almost free car train, starting to develop. I've got a yellow in sector 1. Wonky's gone into the pit lane and exited the pit lane. I wonder if there's been an incident on there as Storm just gives a whack of the wall there on the exit of the hairpin. Oh, I'm glad he gets a bit of a slide on. This is going to allow George to attack. Oh, and just as the battle was starting to get close, the VSC's out again. The 4th virtual safety car of this Grand Prix. Well, this will be interesting when this restarts. I'm not sure what's actually happened there. Oh, hang on, Cohen's going. Cohen hasn't got damage. I'm just trying to work out who's got front wing damage there, because Whelan's in the pits. Potentially something to do with Whelan, actually, because I'm quite hard. George has actually gone into the pit lane. So George is pitting. And I'm assuming going on to hards, yes. So George onto hards. He might be trying to get them to the end of the Grand Prix. We'll wait and see. The Storm and Galactic are battling for the race lead. And yellow in sector 1 again. I'm not sure who that is. I'll reset now again. Service seems to be doing some very strange stuff tonight. Yellow flags randomly all over the place. Oh, and Sutill's out. That was a legit yellow flag, because Sutill has crashed in sector 1, I think. I think he has retired. Yes, I've just got confirmation that Suttil is out of the race. He's pulled off into the pit lane and retired in the pits. Why am I saying Suttil again? Honestly, thank you chat for reminding me of that. So Sully's out of the race. Got it right this time. Incidents. What is happening with this tonight? Honestly, the timings are all over the place. So on board with Galactic, looking at a very interesting view actually. Never seen that one before in the F1 game. As Storm gets very sideways. He has a bit of a tank slapper on coming out of turn 4. He just about gathers it up. Again, this is still turning into a very interesting race. A lot of action. Tight battles. Another yellow out. There's something wrong with these servers tonight. Yellows all over the show. Storm is going to get DRS here. I think he's a bit too far back to make a move. He's at the minute. Now the last corner they come to begin lap 10 of the Singapore Grand Prix. Ooh, bit of a tag slapper on there for Galactic. It's going to leave him vulnerable to Storm on the exit. And Storm is going to get very close, if not past with DRS here. He's in the slipstream. Has he got enough pull? The answer is no. And speaking of which, Storm has actually just picked up a time penalty for multiple warnings. So that could play into Galactic's hands very nicely indeed. And it looks like he's actually lagged out the session. He's gone to AI. His car has gone ghosted, so I'm assuming he's gone to AI. He's back now. He might have just pressed the pause menu. Quickly, as he gets a bit of a tank slapper on. Coming out the hairpin. It's going to give Galactic a bit of breathing room for now. Meanwhile, a bit further down the order, Justin in the Williams, after having a bit first lap shenanigans, has climbed back up to P10. He's got Fabio to defend from, forces him very wide. Fabio's going to have a go on the inside here. They just about keep it clean. Justin just about holds on. This is all playing nicely into Bossy Gaming's hands just behind them. As Fabio just gets a bit of a tank slapper on there, and the gap extends a bit further than what we were wanting. Meanwhile, Felix is on them hards, climbed all the way back up to P4 at the minute. I'm doing okay. Galactic Nerd has actually just pitted, so he's down to P5. And I think Storm might have pitted as well. No, so Storm's in the race lead, even though the graphics says he isn't. So servers are really playing up tonight. So Storm looks like he's trying to do the one stop. It's just said his pit window's open, according to our partners at AWS. It looks like he's staying out for one more lap. Clearly feeling the tyres are still good enough for now. Oh dear! I've just missed the end of that. Storm has just gone into the wall. Oh, and you've just seen the replay of it. He gets it really bad coming out turn 5. Loops the car around. He's got front wing damage. So that... he's going to bring Felix back into play. And Felix, you would think, he's going to get the race lead here. Yes, he is. Storm into the wall again. He might struggle to get that car back to the pit lane, actually. And just caught the tail end of that unfolding. So Felix leads the way from George now. George locks up very heavily. So we're back where we started with this battle at the beginning of the Grand Prix. And it was actually George and Galactic, actually, so that's my bad on that front. Just about keeping it clean. Felix still leads the way. Another virtual safety car is out. Whelan is now out of the race. So that's changed the complexity again. Lewis Oliver has actually had a crash and he's actually in the wall. It says he's in the pit lane, but he isn't there. He's in the wall there. And Ben has another pedal drive through for speeding under VSC. As they come down halfway through this race, and Felix is just extending his gap a little bit over George. Little by little. And wow, a bit further down the field, we've got quite a good battle going on here. Four-way scrap. Fabio, Justin, Ruff and Bossy all involved in this one, and maybe Ben by the time he comes back out the pits. Four-way scrap over 8th place at the minute. DRS spots opening everywhere. Through this little middle sector to go, very tight through here. As Ruff is closing onto the back of Justin. As Galactic Nerd is out of the race. He's had a crash on the start-finish straight there. You can see the AlphaTauri. He's actually crashed on the start-finish straight. Now I wonder if that's going to bring out a safety car, because that car is right in the wrong position, to say the least. It's in a very dangerous spot, is that. The car's reset and it's gone, but I'm surprised that didn't bring out a safety car there. This little three-way train's going. Fabio dives for the pit lane, so he'll be making his final stop and going to the end now. Ruff is trying to go around the outside of Justin here. Justin squeezes him right out to the outside. Ruff trying to do the cutback, couldn't quite do it. And he'll get DRS down here though. Getting into the draft of the Williams in front. Swoops round the outside, and it's a very clean move from Ruff there. Great drive, great move by the Haas driver. Continues to drive. Well, in the meantime, means Lewis Oliver actually leads the way somehow. I feel like that's not correct, but based on the fact that he was in the wall a couple of laps ago. Followed by Felix, followed by George. Freestyles in 4th, Cohen's in 5th. Rongpi in the other Red Bulls in 6th. We've got a yellow in sector 2. Not sure who that is, and I think it's Ben Ratcliffe. I think Ben Ratcliffe has had a moment. Storm's missing half a car there. There's something wrong with the servers tonight. He's just going at normal pace there. Very bizarre. So yeah, Ben Ratcliffe is now out of the session. Justin has just come out of pit road. Doek's in the pit, getting a new front wing. Not really any closest battle. The closest battle at the minute is between Lewis Oliver and Justin, so Lewis Oliver is in 8th place. Justin comes through the middle sector. As tidy as he can do anyway. George is currently in P3. I still don't think Lewis Oliver's in P1. Felix has actually entered the pit lane. That's interesting. Seems like the hards aren't working. He's going on to a set of mediums to try and get to the end of the race, you would think. And again, it says Lewis Oliver leads the way, but I don't believe that for 1 second. And there's definitely not a 6/10 gap based where them two are on the track now. There's no way that's 6/10. So I'm not convinced by that 1 second. So servers doing some very, very strange stuff tonight. Got a yellow in sector 1. So that might be Rough, and that's Rough that has spun, actually. So that was a legit yellow flag. Rough has spun coming through turn 3. And looks like Felix and Cohen will have a bit of a scrap, but Cohen's dived for the pit lane, so that deflated fairly quickly. See how Cohen's pit stop gets on. Comes down pit road into the box. Very quick pit stop actually from the Alpha boys. Straight on his way. Gonna help Cohen out a bit. Try and keep him are in contention in this race. Ruff has actually got a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, so that won't make a difference come the end of the race because Storm is 2 laps down due to having quite a severe amount of damage. Felix getting it very, very wobbly coming through there. You can see the car shaking from side to side there. Another sector to come. Felix catching up to Freestyles. George leading the way from Freestyles from Felix, so I was right about the Lewis Oliver situation, that he wasn't up there, and it's glitched again, so I do know that he's not in that position. Just the line, we've got yellow in sector 1, as Felix gets past with Freestyles and DRS into turn 1. Nicely done, up into P2, it says P3 but it's P2. Glitch. Been going on tonight. Now will Freestyles try and fight back? You would think he would try, but it is Felix and we know what Felix is capable of on pace. Seems like Freestyles is going to try and have a go at this. Seems like he's pushing a bit, but whether he's pushing enough to keep it with Felix is another question. And Ruff has actually retired from the session, so Ruff is out of the race. I'm assuming that's what the yellow flag was for. At least that's all I can assume it's for anyway. This moment in time. Meanwhile, we'll swoop past Lewis Oliver. Because Lewis Oliver's in P2, but he isn't. Service is just awful tonight. Apologies guys for the graphics, the server seems to be in a very strange place tonight. I can tell you this is a legitimate battle though over P9 between Doak and Bossy, so we'll keep an eye on this. Bossy can try and get himself back into this race. Half the grid actually DNF just because of the yellow flag situation. Fortunately the servers have gone to a state tonight where the yellow flag glitches everywhere, there's been yellow flags everywhere and you can't overtake, so because if you do under yellow flags the game gives you a penalty, so annoying, but unfortunately it happens. The servers are just not liking it tonight at all. We're just going on to lap 22 out of 31. George continues to drive away at the front. Lap 23 out of 31 now. All over the place. I can't even tell who's actually battling right now. Felix is catching up to Lewis Oliver, but I'm still not convinced that Lewis Oliver's in that position. However, Felix does get past him. Lewis Oliver, well, the game says he's pushed down an order. I still don't believe that, based on how screwed up the server has been tonight. About keep it together. So there's a yellow in sector 3, and Fabio's had a moment. Quite a bad one as well. He's gone very much off the circuit. I think he's whacked his front wing in the process. Yeah, heavy damage to the left front part of that wing. He'll have to box for a new one, you'd think. That's exactly what he's doing. No surprises there. Hard to drive these cars round a street circuit like this. And like this. George just continues to lead the way at the front. Doak has a penalty for crossing the exit line on the pit lane, so that could potentially shake up things. Felix is trying to catch up to George. I don't think he's capable of closing an 8-second gap within 6 laps, I don't think, but you never know. What can happen? Stranger things have happened. Felix continues to drive away at the front. George just a bit further up the road. Felix is closing that gap though, quite quickly as well. You can see the gap shrinking 10th by 10th. Starting to grow a bit again, but we know how quick Felix is, but whether he can close that gap quickly enough, I'm not sure. I think it's going to be tight come the end of the race. I think Felix has got to close about second a lap if he's going to have a chance of trying to win the Singapore Grand Prix. Tough one. Actually, I was low on my dual stop for some reason. Felix, he's closing that gap. Like I said, what he needs to do. Gap is under 4 seconds now. He may have a chance. There's George in the distance. You can just see the back end of the Williams. Felix has got a very good chance here of being able to pull this off. Gap is getting smaller and smaller. I think we're going to have a good end to round 3 of the Rookie Racing Championship. This is looking promising for Felix. He's giving it his all. Felix on making the extra pit stop on fresher tyres, remember, as well. The gap is getting smaller and smaller. Gap just under 1.5 seconds now. We're going to lap 29 out of 31. Under 3 laps to go. This isn't all said and done. And this is a chance for Felix to try and get past George. He's going to have to try and defend for his absolute life. For some reason, Lewis Oliver's up there again. I'm pretty sure that's a glitch. Now reset itself again. But George, believe it or not, has got himself within DRS range. And he's very, very close to the back of George now. This is going to be a thrilling battle. We've gone to the last 2 laps of the Singapore Grand Prix. It's now or never for Felix. He's got DRS. George moves to the inside to try and break the draft, and I think that's all he's going to have to do, is George. If he can break the draft on Felix's DRS, he's got to have that chance. Felix has had a wobble. Doek has had a DNF. I think he's had quite a bad accident. Coming out of turn 10, I think. Let's see where he had the incident. I think he's had it on the back straight here. Still not past him. He actually crashed. Did he crash on here? Okay, so he's crashed there because he's just passed him there. Right, it's reset. He's had quite a bad one though. Looked quite a bad shunt. Meanwhile, Felix is DRS again. Trying to get him George's draft. George goes defensive. Locks up. Forces Felix round the outside, but Felix gets it done. Now this is the crucial point for George now. He needs to stay in Felix's DRS. If he stays in Felix's DRS, he has got half a chance at saving this win. Felix moves up into P1. They're about to come onto the last lap of the Grand Prix. George will get DRS. Whether he becomes close enough, I'm not sure. Not quite there. Closes the gap a little bit though. And George will get DRS again. Big lock up from George there on the last lap. And Felix, I think, has just about got it done, to be fair. George is struggling to keep within DRS range. I think he might drop out of it at the next detection zone. Find out the lap car for Williams. I think that's just in there as George gets a tank slapper on, and I think that's cost him it now. I think that's it all done and dusted. Well, to be fair to Felix, once again he's done another solid drive. He didn't give up, which is the main thing. If you don't give up in them situations and push hard, you give yourself a fair chance, and that's exactly what he's done tonight. Really good effort from Felix. Felix weaving down, taking the fireworks, rounds the final corner. Felix wins the Singapore Grand Prix and spins across the line in style. George comes home in second place. Freestyle, another good performance today in the McLaren. He's going to come home in third place. Freestyles comes home P4. Cohen's going to come home for P5. He's got a lap. He's got Fabio who's behind him. He's a lap down in this race. Cohen rounds the final corner. Comes home for P5. Wrong Pete comes home for P6. The rest of the guys were a lap down, unfortunately, during that race. Freestyle gets driver of the day. Yeah, I agree with that. He did start near the back of the field, to be fair. So, pretty good effort. But it's that man on the top step of the podium again. Felix gets the job done. George comes home in second place. Unlucky for George in the end, to be fair. He was just getting caught and caught and caught near the end of that race. And that's it. Round 3 over like that in a flash. Felix takes the win from George. Great effort from all of them. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your company today. And we'll see you next time.